The question of why America might be preparing to abandon Taiwan is a complex one, steeped in evolving geopolitical strategies and a delicate dance between deterrence and de-escalation. Recent developments in 2026 suggest a significant pivot in U.S.-Taiwan policy, particularly following a summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping in May of that year. This shift signals a deliberate move towards a more nuanced approach, characterized by a fundamental change in rhetoric and an apparent reevaluation of long-standing security commitments. Such a reevaluation naturally prompts intense scrutiny and debate among international relations experts and policymakers alike, as the implications for regional stability are profound. One of the most telling indicators of this evolving stance is the rhetorical shift emanating from Washington. Previously, U.S. officials frequently issued explicit, sometimes even stern, warnings regarding Beijing's increasing military pressure on Taiwan. These statements often emphasize the potential for a direct, U.S. response to any unprovoked aggression. However, post-summit, the language has become notably softer and more circumspect. The focus has decisively shifted towards concepts like quiet, strength, and constructive strategic stability. This subtle yet profound change was particularly evident in the United States. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's speech at the Shangri-La Dialogue, a premier security summit, reports from attendees and analyses of his address indicate that direct references to Taiwan were conspicuously absent from his prepared remarks and subsequent discussions. Instead, Hegseth reportedly centered his commentary on the broader, more generalized concept of the first island chain, a strategic geographical feature encompassing several nations. This strategic omission is widely interpreted by analysts as a deliberate and calculated effort to lower tensions with Beijing and mitigate the risk of direct confrontation in the Taiwan Strait. The underlying aim appears to be the preservation of the status quo and stability within this highly sensitive and strategically vital region, rather than an escalation of rhetoric that could inadvertently provoke an unwanted and potentially devastating response. This careful calibration of language reflects a deeper strategic adjustment. Another critical element fueling speculation about a potential U.S. withdrawal, or at least a significant distancing, is the controversial and highly scrutinized handling of arms sales to Taiwan. President Trump himself reportedly characterized a pending $14 billion arms package for Taiwan as a mere bargaining chip to be used in negotiations with China. This statement, made public through various channels, suggests a profound strategic intent to link crucial arms sales, which are vital for Taiwan's defense, to broader concessions from Beijing, potentially on critical trade issues, intellectual property rights, or other geopolitical matters. The fact that the approval of these substantial arms sales, initially announced with much fanfare in January 2026, has been significantly delayed and subjected to review, further reinforces this interpretation. If arms sales, historically a cornerstone of U.S. support for Taiwan's self-defense, and a clear signal of commitment, are now being viewed as mere leverage in broader, unrelated negotiations with China, it signals a significant reprioritization of U.S. interests. This shift could very well be perceived as a weakening of its immediate security commitment to Taiwan, moving away from an unconditional defense posture. These perceived de-escalation gestures, encompassing both the reduced public support for Taiwan and the protracted delays in essential arms deliveries, have understandably raised considerable concerns, not only in Taipei but also among regional allies and international observers. Many worry that Washington might inadvertently weaken the very deterrent that has successfully preserved peace and stability in the region for decades. A robust and unwavering U.S. commitment, often articulated through various defense acts and strategic pronouncements, has long been seen as the primary disincentive for any potential Chinese military action against Taiwan. The current debate, therefore, revolves intensely around whether this new, more cautious approach is a meticulously calculated strategy to preserve peace through less confrontational and more indirect means, or if it effectively downgrades the U.S. commitment to Taiwan's defense to such an extent that it emboldens potential aggressors. The increasing ambiguity surrounding these recent actions and rhetorical shifts only serves to compound the existing strategic ambiguity that has long, by design, defined U.S. policy towards Taiwan, making interpretations even more challenging and raising anxieties. Indeed, the Trump administration's evolving policy towards Taiwan has been described by many foreign policy experts as not just strategically ambiguous, but as actively compounding strategic ambiguity. This approach is a complex amalgam that combines various seemingly contradictory elements, the imposition of high tariffs on Chinese goods, exerting significant pressure on Taiwan to enhance its self-defense capabilities, authorizing record arms sales to the island, and simultaneously passing strong pro-Taiwan legislation. This intricate and often contradictory tapestry of policies makes it incredibly challenging for allies, adversaries, and even domestic audiences to ascertain the true long-term intentions and strategic objectives of the U.S. The fluctuating signals and inconsistent messaging create an environment of heightened uncertainty for both Beijing, which is carefully monitoring U.S. actions for any signs of weakness or resolve, Taipei, which relies heavily on clear indications of U.S. support. This ambiguity further complicates an already inherently volatile regional dynamic, raising the stakes for all involved parties. In response to this rapidly evolving and increasingly uncertain landscape, Taiwan itself is taking significant and proactive steps to bolster its own defense capabilities. Following the U.S. strategy of demanding that its allies increase their defense spending and assume more responsibility for their own security, Taiwan has announced ambitious and concrete plans to significantly raise its defense budget. By 2026, the aim is to reach 3.3% of its gross domestic product (GDP), representing a substantial increase in military investment. This is slated for a further increase to 5% by 2030, which would place Taiwan among the top global spenders on defense proportionally. Alongside this crucial financial commitment, Taiwan is actively restructuring its entire defense sector. This includes modernizing its military, streamlining command structures, and making substantial investments in asymmetric capabilities. These asymmetric capabilities are specifically designed to maximize damage and impose prohibitive costs on any potential invading force. Focusing on advanced missile systems, naval mines, anti-ship weaponry, cyber warfare units, and other defensive technologies, the goal is to deter or repel a potential invasion by making any offensive action by China extremely costly and potentially unachievable. Domestic politics within Taiwan also play a profoundly crucial role in this intricate geopolitical equation, adding another layer of complexity. The local elections scheduled for 2026 and, even more critically, the presidential election in 2028 are considered significant inflection points that could fundamentally alter the island's trajectory. There's a growing recognition among international observers and strategists that China's path to achieving its objectives regarding Taiwan might increasingly run through Taiwan's internal political landscape, influencing public opinion and electoral outcomes, rather than solely through overt military action. Interestingly, and perhaps concerningly for some, there has been a noticeable, albeit gradual, shift in sentiment among younger Taiwanese generations. Recent surveys and analyses indicate that some are moving towards less overtly pro-independence views, often prioritizing economic stability or regional peace over immediate political separation. This internal political evolution within Taiwan could significantly influence Taiwan's own strategic choices, its willingness to resist external pressures, and its delicate relationship with both the U.S. and mainland China. Moreover, the very foundation of U.S.-Taiwan policy is being re-examined by a new generation of analysts and policymakers. Some, like Jennifer Kavanaugh, a prominent expert in strategic studies, are even proposing radical overhauls to the long-standing U.S. approach. For instance, Kavanaugh suggests that the current level of U.S. strategic interest in Taiwan may not ultimately justify direct military intervention, especially given the immense risks of a great power conflict. She advocates for a policy that explicitly signals to Taiwan its primary responsibility for its own defense by the year 2030. Simultaneously, during this critical transition period, the U.S. would continue to facilitate robust arms sales and provide technical assistance to ensure Taiwan is adequately equipped to deter and defend itself. This perspective underscores a growing school of thought that believes a more self-reliant Taiwan, one that is fully capable of defending its sovereignty, without the explicit guarantee of U.S. military intervention, might ultimately be a more sustainable and less escalatory long-term solution for regional peace. This shift represents a fundamental rethinking of the strategic burden sharing in the Indo-Pacific. In conclusion, the multifaceted developments unfolding in 2026 paint an intricate and continuously evolving picture of the U.S. approach to Taiwan. This approach is characterized by a delicate and at times precarious balancing act between actively deterring Beijing's increasingly assertive ambitions and simultaneously seeking de-escalation of regional tensions through diplomatic overtures and nuanced rhetoric. Concurrently, the U.S. is strongly and persistently encouraging Taiwan to significantly enhance its own self-defense capabilities, shifting some of the burden of security. Whether this intricate and complex strategy ultimately preserves peace and the existing status quo, or inadvertently paves the way for a fundamental shift in regional power dynamics, and the future of Taiwan remains an open and hotly debated question. The coming years will undoubtedly be critical in understanding the true, long-term implications of America's changing and recalibrated stance on Taiwan, an island at the heart of global geopolitical competition.